She's been dropping a lot of new music. Have you heard it?
I've heard it. I've seen it all. She texted me, not last night, the night before last night, at 4 o'clock in the morning. She was texting me because she was in Chicago and she thought I was in Florida. So it was, but still, that's 6 a.m. It was too early. And she was texting me in the middle of the night. And then she's like, wait, where are you? I said, LA. She goes, why are you up? I go, because Jojo Siwa was texting me. Why am I not up? Of course.
I saw that I saw some article about how they had the biggest turnout at Chicago Pride for her performing, which I thought was like super impressive. It was like 50,000 people or something at that event, which is kind of crazy to think how your show of this, these dance moms, this studio, and now you have someone who's selling out, Chicago Pride.
Yes. Jojo was on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition first, and they loved her, the network, and they wanted to bring her on to Dance Moms. I liked her. I definitely thought she had star quality, but I was always looking for a group. I wanted a cohesive group. I wanted everybody to be the same height, they were all lefties or all righties. I wanted everyone to turn on the same leg, like, you know what I mean? Well, both legs. Yeah. And that's what I was always looking for. So when they would throw these rando people in there, like JoJo, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to rein her in and get her to be part of this group? And so being a star, yes, of course, doing a solo, she was fabulous. In the group, that was the struggle.
They're two separate things. What do you say makes someone have that like star quality?
They're really passionate about what they do. Whether you see it in a lyrical, contemporary type of routine, that acting ability, or whether they're just a perfectionist and they get very frustrated if they're messing something up. You know how important it is to them. And or they're just, I don't want to use the word out. They're just very out there. Yeah. They're just they don't care what anybody thinks. And that's the thing with me too. And I try to tell people, and I've told JoJo this many times, as well as the other kids on the show, when you're an artist, whether you sing, dance, act, or you're a sculptor, a painter, you put your heart out there on a platter, and someone's going to stab it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to stab it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You could work on this figure, whatever, this huge art piece for years, and then it's in a gallery, and you're in New York City at this gallery in the opening, and you hear somebody behind you say, oh, well, I think it looks like a hunk of junk. You have to turn around and say, well, that's good because you can't afford it anyway. And you walk away because you love it and you care about your craft so much that nothing anyone says is ever going to matter.
What is that for you?
That would be choreographically, the choreography. You don't care what any judge or anybody ever says about it because you put your heart into that piece and it's out there. Or that student, my students that I train, and you get that feedback like, oh, she's one of Abby's kids. Meaning the work ethic is there, the commitment's there, the determination, the dedication, the discipline, it's all there.
Yeah.
Because they're one of my kids.
JoJo was a student that you were like hard on. I feel like you were hard on all the students, but I feel like particularly JoJo. And do you think she was one of those students that came back to the studio the next day and proved you wrong?
Yeah, she tried to.
She kept trying.
I'd get her again, but yeah, JoJo. My difficulty with JoJo was she was homeschooled, so the standing in line, taking your turn, raising your hand, things you learn at school that aren't math or science, she didn't have. So she would just like blurt out questions in the middle of a conversation, interrupt adults when they were speaking. And that's the kind of stuff I had to like crack down on her.